Hello, hello, and welcome to Midnight. This is Reverend Anna from Anna Transylvania's Tarot Room, and tonight I thought I would talk to you about the full moon and the celebration of IMBOLC all in one because this is a special full moon. Okay, so hello again, welcome to our first installation of Magic Monday. Okay, where we are going to be talking about magical techniques, manifestation techniques, anything and everything to do with upping your skills as a practitioner of manifestation, okay? As a practitioner of esoterics. So, without further ado, let's get into it, okay? So, I promise you I'm gonna get better props. However, this is my full moon right here. And so I wanted to talk about when a full moon actually occurs. Um, so a full moon is always occurs. It never occurs at any other point in time. Okay, when the sun is 180 degrees. So this is the sun. Okay, and it's 180 degrees from the moon. So it's like on a straight line from the moon. So the moon, so the sun shines on the moon, and then the moon reflects that light. Okay, so that's basically the mechanics of that. So, knowing this, we have some really good magical practices that can be done on a full moon. We can surmise that we can do really great protection work on a full moon because, the sun is opposite it. So, when we're when we're when we have things that weigh on us or things that we find that we don't like or anything like that, we can do a lot of like work to protect ourselves from those things during the full moons. Okay, if we have enemies, we can do like protection work as well. It's a very good for those magical people that are here today. Hi guys. Okay, we can do warding, which means we're protecting the four corners of our house, things like this. Okay, magic for the full moon is also manifestation magic. A lot of mirror work can be done. So like if you guys like are doing the mirror principle, or if you guys are doing any kind of manifestations where you're telling yourself how beautiful you are, or all of these things in a mirror, any kind of mirror work like that can be started and blessed on a full moon. Okay, because that's when the moon is at its fullest. If you need to shine a light on anything that's in your subconscious or that's in your emotions, the full moon is also very good for that. It's kind of like a spotlight inside, like it's the time where the moon is brightest. So you're thinking, like if you hide your emotions and you want to be more assertive, or like this particular moon happens to be with Uranus going into Taurus. So it's a lot of inner work about how we handle resources. Okay. I just did the starry Sunday. Um, Uranus is going into Taurus this week. So we're starting to feel that right about now on the full moon. Okay. So it's about how do we handle our resources? How do we handle our energy? How do we handle our physical well-being, things like this. Okay, so we're gonna have like lots of epiphanies this week. So this new moon, this full moon, um, is very good for that. So if you need to manifest any kind of like clarity about anything, this full moon is gonna do that. If you need motivation, this full moon is also very good for that because it's in Leo. We're gonna talk about a bit about that in a minute here. Okay, so really good full moon, it's manifestations. Another thing that's really good on the full moon to do is reducing work. So you're gonna start working on something that you want to reduce or you want to lose. So first thing that comes to mind, because we were talking about having epiphanies about our finances and things like this, physical stuff, is about reducing clutter and reducing bills. Okay. So if you want to put yourself on a no spend, a full moon is a very good time for that. If you want to, you know, start a weight loss journey or any kind of regimented thing, a full moon is really good for that, because after the full moon, okay, the moon starts reducing in size. So anything that's like full that you want to like sort of get rid of, it's a really good time to do that. Okay. Let's see, what else can we do on a full moon? It's very good for coins as well, for like getting coin, because it kind of looks like a gold coin. Okay. Like a full moon kind of looks like that. It's a very full, um, I'm not gonna talk about health too much on this channel, okay? Like I'm not a health worker, I'm not a health reader, I'm not a coach that, okay, but and fertility and things like this, but it's a good time for fertility work as well. Okay. And I'm just gonna leave that there. There's plenty of books out there of how to, manifest things, manifest pregnancies and things like this. But I'm just going to leave it there. Disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I am not any kind of a like psychological professional. I am a spiritual coach, tarot reader, astrologer. Okay. So that's my disclaimer. All right. So other things that are very good to do on a moon is doing affirmations about what you want to be filled with in the new year and the new month okay. Very good for decluttering as well, the new moon is, because you're reducing something. Okay. um yeah, so there's very many books out there about how to manifest with the moon and how to do wishing and all of that stuff, but those are just like a little tidbit. Okay. Now let's talk about, tonight is a very special moon. So the moon is in Leo, okay, because the sun is in Aquarius, so the moon is in Leo. So we can do a lot of things about, self-care, and about how we appear to others and how do we appear to ourselves. Okay. It's a lot of, so Leos are like pretty flashy people, that you guys are, you guys love to be the center of attention and everything like that. So we're talking mirror work, we're talking about being in the limelight. Okay. The moonlight, when the moon hits your eye, um, it's amore, right? So it's about a lot about self-love and how to love ourselves and things like this, but also about how to be in the spotlight and how to get comfortable subconsciously being in the spotlight. Okay. Because the full moon is in Leo, about how to reduce our anxieties about when the spotlight shines on us, and how we don't really have to be perfect for us to be the center of attention, for us to have attention put on us. Very good. This moon would be very good for somebody who is shy to sort of, go out and just allow themselves to like, go karaokeing or something, or do something that you're like really scared of. Okay. This one, because it's in Leo, it's also a very good one for courage and strength. So if you're trying to like regain physical strength or muscle or anything like that, very good time to start a regimen for that. Very good time to beautify yourself. Okay. To get a haircut, get your eyebrows done, um, get your makeup done for an event, like get your day-to-day makeup done, by a professional, get your colors done, anything to do with appearance, very, very good for that. Getting a new outfit that's like sexy, for a night out, stuff like this, very good on this full moon. Because Uranus is going direct this week, um, a lot of people are going to be having clarity about their finances, and there's other aspects to this week that are going to be coming into play with this full moon. Okay. And the other aspects are all with Chiron. Okay. So for this particular full moon, we're gonna be having a a like sort of self-healing, like all these subconscious patterns are gonna be coming to light. So that's why I'm calling it a very good self-care week, and I'm pushing for that hard apparently in this video. However, you also have about how to take care of your, physical space and your well-being. So cleaning, um, you know, all of these things, making a budget, stuff like that this week because Uranus is going into Taurus. Okay. Now, when we're talking about resources, you're also budgeting time so that you can assimilate all the new information. You guys are going to be getting lots of information this week. This full moon kind of starts with like a bang. You guys are going to get a lot of information sort of thrown at you this week. So next weekend is going to be really the time when you guys, if you watch Starry, the Starry Sunday, okay? But the full moon is when it's going to really come to sort of a, oh, I'm getting clarity about that, but it's like it's going to maybe take it 6 months to assimilate. Okay. So that's enough about the full moon. Now I want to talk about IMBOLC. And I wish I had a handout for you guys. I normally do. I normally like post it somewhere on the website or something like that. Today I don't have one. I also do it in my classes sometimes. Like I'll give, the free resource in my classes when I do the physical classes. But I promise you on the next Magic Monday, I will have a handout with what we've talked about, so that you guys can download it, all of that. So we're talking about today is IMBOLC. So IMBOLC is the midpoint, okay? So if this was the solstice and this was the equinox, okay, the midpoint in between them would be IMBOLC. IMBOLC is basically when the seeds start germinating in the ground and like little green shoots start popping out of the earth because, the seeds are breaking through the cold ground, okay? So basically, it is the seed of the new beginning. So if you have an idea on IMBOLC, especially because it's at the full moon, it is time to enact it, okay? If you have any kind of inspiration, time to act upon that inspiration, or at least start something small, okay? It is no coincidence that I'm starting it at midnight in between Sunday and Monday, okay? So this is going to be posted pretty much as near to midnight as I can get it. All right? Because I am actually filming it right before posting. So, IMBOLC, time for release, renewal, doing any kind of like firework, like I said, inspiration, getting new ideas, think tanking, um, exchanging ideas with other people. Also partying. It's a very good time to like get together with people and celebrate that it's like halfway through winter and you've survived. So it's generally when like it starts getting a little bit warmer outside and everything like that. Not right now, like all of us with this freezing storm, not right now. Next week on Monday, I'm going to be doing an installment on how to use ice and snow in your workings, okay? So that's not this week. So IMBOLC is very, very good for all of those things that I just mentioned. A lot of firework, a lot of people worship fire deities, okay, to keep their lights going, okay, to show divinity that you're still there, and divinity in turn shows you that they're still there by giving you warmer months ahead, okay, in the winter. The frigid winter is over. So a lot of people on IMBOLC burn to St. Bridget. They burn bonfires. Now, around this time, a lot of like, so in the medieval times before we had, trash collection every week, okay, a lot of like people would be staying inside for the cold winter months, and there would be a lot of trash that needed to be burned. So they would burn that trash, okay, which in turn would make ashes, that they would clean their abodes with, and they would save these ashes for the springtime when all of the like little bugs would come out, and they would put them on the ground outside the huts and stuff like that, so that the bugs wouldn't come in. Okay. So very good time to burn a bonfire. And like, I have a burn box, but if you have some stuff that you need to burn off from the winter, very good time to put stuff on the curb for big trash pickup. Okay, very good time. And to ask for something new to replace it if it's something that's broken that needs replacing. All right, so that's for IMBOLC. Those are the things, very much like light a fire, tell a wish, write down wishes for the new year. It's still a good time for that, especially like physical and financial wishes right now. Okay. If you have any of those, it's a very good time to start sort of planning them for the year right now, because we're still kind of in the hibernation mode, so to speak, like the world is still in hibernation mode. All right, guys, so that was an installation of Magic Monday. Happy IMBOLC to those of you who celebrated. Happy New Moon to those of you who celebrate that. Um, if there's any questions that I can answer, if there's like further work that you want to do, if you want to do any astrology work with me, please contact me. My contacts are all over my channel. Um, I don't think I have a description here, but I will try to put it in the descriptions from now on. Okay. I'm not perfect. So, so thank you for attending the first installation of Magic Monday, and you guys have a good week. And stay tuned, because I'm gonna have Tarot Tuesdays. I'm gonna have like a new thing happening each day, and each Magic Monday is gonna be a little different from the other Magic Monday. All right, guys. Love you guys. I will talk to you later. Bye.